everybody, and welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I am Kiki.
Okay, so we're still talking about protecting the spectacled bears of South America. This is part 2. So these Andean bears have been hunted, and their population is getting pretty low.
Right.
So they need to be protected. So that's what we were talking about in part 1.
And also their habitat has also shrunk.
Right? And they're very important because they help to spread seeds and things throughout the ecosystem there.
Right.
And if there's not enough of them, then it's going to infect the entire ecosystem.
Right. So today we're going to find out how people are helping them to save their population. Now, we do know of another type of bear, and they were endangered, right? Their population was endangered, and then there was a group of people that tried to help save their species.
Are you talking about pandas?
Yes, I am.
Ah, yes.
Right, because pandas, they have a very unique diet, and also they're known to be very lazy.
Right.
So their population dropped a lot, not only because of human factors, but because of their own lifestyle too.
Right, yeah, and the environment and what they ate, everything. I mean, because an ecosystem is very fragile, so yeah, but luckily if people do get involved, they're able to help and increase the population again.
Right, so we know that in China, they started to help these pandas repopulate. They helped take care and encourage these pandas to mate and reproduce and have more babies. And now they have left this endangered zone and they are now safely invulnerable.
Excellent. So let's find out what people are doing to protect spectacled bears.
Many of Colombia's coffee farmers once saw the bears as a danger that had to be eliminated. However, thanks to improved education, that has begun to change. A program called Conservamos la Vida, Spanish for Conserving Life, was created to teach people about the bears and encourage people to preserve the local environment. Several organizations in Colombia work together to create Conservamos la Vida. The program provides money and resources to people in exchange for protecting the bears. For example, participating farmers receive the materials they need for coffee growing and processing, feeding their animals, and creating fences to keep bears out. Some large farms have even formed alliances to leave large areas of land untouched just for Andean bears.
Let's get into part 2 of protecting the spectacled bears of South America.
All right, so many of Colombia's coffee farmers once saw the bears as a danger that had to be eliminated. Okay, so basically the bears were like eating their crops, eating their cattle. So they needed to eliminate them. So to eliminate just means to get rid of. So they needed to get rid of them, and as we learned, by hunting and killing them. Okay, continuing. However, thanks to improved education, that has begun to change. Excellent.
That's a relief to hear.
Education is really like when it comes to the environment and ecosystems, people really don't understand how fragile they are, and there's a lot of misunderstanding, so education is very important.
Right, so to let the coffee farmers know more about the importance of the bears, right? Let's continue. A program called Conservamos la Vida, Spanish for Conserving Life, was created to teach people about the bears and encourage people to preserve the local environment. So to conserve life is to protect life,
right? Yeah.
Or to save life. So we also hear sometimes to conserve energy and conserve water. And all of these things are important. So they want to encourage people to preserve the local environment. They want to get more people to understand the importance of the environment and how they can do things differently to protect the area that they live in or the area that they work in.
Right. Okay. Continuing. Several organizations in Colombia worked together to create Conservamos la Vida. The program provides money and resources to people in exchange for protecting the bears. Okay, so they're giving them something in exchange. So they're giving them money and resources and saying, hey, protect the bears, don't hurt them, and we will give you something in return.
Right, because it's quite important that we see the farmers, something's being taken away from them, right? The bears are eating their crops, but they want to encourage the farmers, stop hunting them. There's other ways to change the situation. So that means farmers, they need money and they need resources.
Right, because if they are eating their crops, well, they need to do something to keep them away, you know, if they need some help.
So what are resources? Resource is a noun, and it is a supply or amount of materials, money, people, and other assets or other things that can be useful and used by a person or a company to allow something else to happen.
Right.
So an example would be, the library is a valuable resource that can help you with your essay. So if you go to the library, there are a lot of books, and those are resources.
Exactly. All right. We also have another vocabulary word, exchange. So exchange is a noun, and that just means something that is given to somebody or and something is received in return. So if we have an exchange, that means that I will give you something.
Right.
And then you will give me something in return.
Right.
That's an exchange.
And sometimes we can also use information exchange or communication to exchange things, right?
Right. Okay. So like you said, to exchange, so it could also be used as a verb, right? So an example here is she offered her services in exchange for some gardening tips.
So this program, Conservamos la Vida, helps these farmers and they give them resources to protect the bears. For example, participating farmers receive the materials they need for coffee growing and processing, feeding their animals, and creating fences to keep bears out.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. They need those things.
Right.
In order to successfully make a living.
Right. And because their crops are being eaten, they might not have extra money to build the fences, right?
Right. So they need help. Okay. So participate is a vocabulary word here, which is a verb. It means to take part in or become involved in an activity. So for example, you could say, many students participated in the school's talent show.
Right. And another one of our vocabulary word, in the article, it's processing. So we're going to talk about process as a verb. And it's basically when raw materials are being treated and they're being changed to become a different state. So they could become preserved or to use these raw materials in another way. And when we talk about raw materials, we're talking about things like, for example, coffee bean or cocoa beans. These are things that need to be processed. An example, the company needs time to process the large number of orders. So this company, they need to take the steps, they need to go through a series of things to fulfill these orders. So if I ordered something from you from Shopee, you need to process these orders.
Process the order and go through the steps, right? Okay. So continuing, some large farms have even formed alliances to leave large areas of land untouched just for Andean bears. So to form an alliance just means that they come together and they work together in order to get something done, which here is to help protect these bears. Why don't we take a break and we'll come back in a moment.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课程读到，由于人们将土地开垦成咖啡农场，造成安第斯熊的栖息地缩小，那这些熊就跑去咖啡农场吃掉很多农民的作物和牛群。而哥伦比亚的许多咖啡农曾经把这些熊视为必须消除的威胁。然而，由于教育的提升，这个情况已经开始改变了。有一个名为 Conservamos la Vida 的计划应运而生，它主要是在教导民众关于熊的知识，鼓励人们保护当地环境。那这个计划的名称 Conservamos la Vida 是西班牙语，意思就是保育生命。那它是由哥伦比亚的数个组织共同创立的。这个计划呢，为民众提供了资金还有资源来换取保护这些熊。举例来说，参与计划的农民就可以获得他们所需的物资，用在他们的咖啡种植和加工、喂养动物以及这个建立围篱来防止熊进入。而一些大型农场甚至也结成了联盟，为安第斯熊保留大片未受破坏的土地。好，我们来看单字 resource， 它表示资源。那么 exchange 在这边当名词，表示交换、交流。In exchange for something 就可以表达用来交换什么、换取什么。那么 participate 是动词，它表示参加、参与。这个单字后面常常会接 in something 去表达参与某事。再看到 process， 在文中是当动词，它表示加工处理。那刚刚说到这个环境教育 ，Shane 老师就提到生态的脆弱，还有人们对一些误解。老师这时候用到 fragile。Fragile 就可以形容是脆弱的或是易损坏的。老师还有提到 misunderstanding， 在 understanding 前面加 mis， 得到这个名词就可以指误会或是误解。好，这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 conserve 跟 preserve 的比较。动词 conserve 和 preserve 都有保护、保存、维护的意思，可是呢，有细微的不同哦。我们先来看 conserve 这个动词，它的第一个意思是表达保护、保存、维护，可能是保护自然环境，使它免于受损或是改变。当这个意思解释时，相当于 preserve。那么 conserve 它还有节约、节省，像我们说省水、省电等等的资源的那种意思。好，看个例句。It is essential to conserve natural resources. 保护自然资源是至关重要的。接着看到 preserve 这个动词呢，第一个意思可以表达保护、维护，像是维护这个环境啊、建筑物、历史文物等等，把它维持在原本状态，或是保存它的价值和完整性。第二个意思，我们可以用 preserve 去表达保存，保存食物，使它不要腐烂。好，那我们一样看个例句。It's our duty to preserve our culture and traditions. 维护我们的文化传统是我们的责任。好，再看第二个重点是 leave 加受词加受词补语，这表示使什么处于某种状态。那受词补语可以是形容词、现在分词 VING、过去分词 PP， 或者是介系词片语。我们看三个例句。The beautiful view left us speechless. 这美景啊，让我们说不出话来了。这时候补语是用形容词 speechless。第二个例句是 I'll leave the front door unlocked. 我不会把前门锁上的。这时候呢，我们是用过去分词 unlocked， 用这个 PP 来当补语。第三个例句是 The news left her in complete shock. 那个消息使她震惊不已。那这时候用到的补语是 in complete shock 这个介系词片语。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
The program has also helped local farms form a joint business called Café Oso Andino, or Andean Bear Coffee. The company has been a success and has brought more wealth into the region. Rather than hurting business, protecting the Andean bear and local forests actually brought in more money for local coffee farmers. Conservamos la Vida shows that it is possible for conservation and business to work together successfully.
Okay, so welcome back. And before the break, we were talking about Conservamos la Vida, which is a program that's helping these farmers and also helping the spectacled bears. So let's learn a little bit more about the program.
All right. The program has also helped local farms form a joint business called Café Oso Andino, or Andean Bear Coffee.
Okay.
So here's our first vocabulary word, which is joint. And here it's used as an adjective. And basically it means when two or more people share something. So when we can have a joint business, we can have a joint bank account. So we share something.
I want some of your money.
Okay. I don't have a lot to share, but if you make some money, I get some of that too.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Right. So an example sentence would be, they opened a joint bank account to manage their shared expenses. So if we have some money together, it can all come out from this joint bank account, and then we'll see how much you spent and how much I spent.
Yeah, I like how that works. In America, like couples more often have joint bank accounts, but in Taiwan, everybody has separate bank accounts.
Right.
It's a different culture. All right, continuing, the company has been a success and has brought more wealth into the region. Oh, wow, okay, that's good. So wealth. We're just talking about money. So wealth is a noun. It just means a large amount of money, could be property, etc., that a person or a country owns.
Right.
So, for example, you can say, even with all his wealth, he is unhappy. Because money doesn't necessarily buy happiness,
right?
Right. All right, continuing. Rather than hurting business, protecting the Andean bear and local forests actually brought in more money for local coffee farmers. That's amazing, right? Like they start this conservation effort, and the farmers, of course, the most thing that they worry about is going to be losing money,
right?
And not being able to keep up their farms.
Right.
And by saving the bears, in fact, they're going to even get more money.
And they encouraged them to work together to create this joint business and open this coffee shop. So it's actually helping all this alliance of farmers to make more money.
Okay.
Right? So continuing with the article, Conservamos la Vida shows that it is possible for conservation and business to work together successfully. So a lot of times when we think about conservation, sometimes we worry about losing money.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, it has shown that they can work together.
Yeah, and actually earn money. So we have a what do you think question. The question is, can you think of other ways to encourage people to engage in conservation efforts? I was thinking of one. It's like, like water bottles have actually become pretty popular.
Right.
In fact, this is just something that we've been trying to do in order to help the environment, right?
Right.
But by becoming cool, people want to have these water bottles, and they're doing something good for the environment, and they're being cool.
Right.
And getting attention from people. So I think if you make something cool, and you make something look trendy and fun, then it can have this effect of more and more people doing it.
That's right.
So, I don't know, I think that's good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. And thank you so much for joining us. And do whatever you can to help these poor bears by maybe supporting that company and buying their coffee. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
课文 文接着提到，这项计划还帮助当地农场成立了一家名为 Cafe Oso Andino 的联合企业，也就是安第斯熊咖啡。那这家公司有获得成功，并且为该地区带来更多财富。那从这个例子看来，保护安第斯熊和当地森林并没有损害了他们生意，实际上反而为当地咖啡农带来更多的收入。那这意味着保育和商业合作是有可能同时成功的。我们最后就来看单字 joint。joint 当形容词，它可以形容是联合的或是共同的。那么 wealth 它表示财富、财产。那当这个意思解释时，它是不可数名词哦。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学 B 组开，马上回来哦。
Many of Colombia's coffee farmers once saw the bears as a danger that had to be eliminated. However, thanks to improved education, that has begun to change. A program called Conservamos la Vida, Spanish for Conserving Life, was created to teach people about the bears and encourage people to preserve the local environment. Several organizations in Colombia work together to create Conservamos la Vida.The program provides money and resources to people in exchange for protecting the bears. For example, participating farmers receive the materials they need for coffee growing and processing, feeding their animals, and creating fences to keep bears out. Some large farms have even formed alliances to leave large areas of land untouched just for Andean bears.The program has also helped local farms form a joint business called Cafe Oso Andino, or Andean Bear Coffee. The company has been a success and has brought more wealth into the region. Rather than hurting business, protecting the Andean bear and local forests actually brought in more money for local coffee farmers. Conservamos la Vida shows that it is possible for conservation and business to work together successfully.Hi
everyone! Today we're going to take you to a special place in Changhua where you can see the glass tunnel, underwater world, and the Cosmos Tower. Now a tunnel is a passage that runs underground or through something. You can usually see these glass tunnels in big aquariums or ocean parks where if you're walking through the tunnel, it feels as if you're swimming in the ocean with the adorable ocean animals like sharks, stingrays, and dolphins. Now, if you get a chance to visit this place in Changhua, don't forget to check it out. It's a little bit different. The glass tunnel is a narrow tunnel with large sheets of glass and LED lights. Visitors who enter the glass tunnel find themselves in a golden wonderland leading to the depths of the ocean. Visitors must change into slippers and wear gloves because there is glass all around. The mirrored walls make the tunnel seem wider than it is. The floor looks bottomless. With each step you take, you feel a fear of falling. You have to feel the glass walls as you move, or you might run into them. Underwater World shows images of hundreds of sea turtles, dolphins, and tropical fish beneath the floor and in the walls, making this a great place to take cool photos and check in. The Cosmos Tower is 10.3 meters high and is the world's first large lantern made of glass. Were you guys fascinated by the glass tunnel, underwater world, and the Cosmos Tower? I certainly am. It's a wonderful place to take lots of pictures. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed our lesson today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.